All right. I clearly see where you're going. Richard, I want to read you something. You believe that we're not going to get the real thing when this launch culminates in imagery. This launch on the 6th of November culminates in imagery. You don't think we're going to get the real thing, do you?
No, that's not quite true. I am basically taking out insurance against all possibilities. That's what good science has to do.
Well, I've got more insurance for you, and I want to see if you think this is reasonable, Richard. This is from Michael in Indiana. If the pictures coming from JPL from Mars in 10 months will be doctored, or might be doctored, the technology exists today in the hands of radio amateurs and others, satellite Earth station owners, to aim their dishes at Mars and track its procession and record the signals on audio tape or hi-fi VCRs to feed into their computers for processing. All that's required is inside information on the frequencies used and the modulation schemes, and people with satellite dishes, 12-foot or better, and I've got one of those, 12.5-footer, could take them out of their polar look and point them at Mars, lock on Mars and the signal, and do the recordings. What do you think?
Well, I mean, he's absolutely right up to the point that I'm going to mention next.
Okay.
Because, you see, we have no guarantee that the signals coming from that spacecraft have not already been doctored, meaning the photographs have been loaded onto the tape recorder to be beamed back to con us all along. Now, the new edition of my book, The Monuments of Mars, has just been released. It should be reaching bookstores, sometime this week.
Right.
There is a set of very specific documented reports of exactly this series of events occurring with Mars Observer in the time frame just after it was launched in 1992. Mars Observer disappeared for 85 minutes after launch.
Right.
In a kind of an eerie foreshadowing of what would happen, a year later when it got to Mars. What I have done from NASA memos and from press reports and sources is to lay out in Monuments, in the new chapters, in the new edition, the 4th edition, which has a whole new cover and a whole new look and everything, the rather remarkable story of the missing data on the Mars Observer tape recorder that 2 weeks after it was launched suddenly was not missing any longer.